All right, good morning, everybody. Quick sound check. Happy Wednesday, Simpler. All good, thank you, Lee. Appreciate it. But good morning, everybody. Nice to see everyone. And before I begin, guys, just want to thank you. Obviously, if you're here with me today, you did, invest in the, elite package. So just want to thank you guys, and looking forward to, our next two sessions here together. But today is definitely going to be interesting. We've dealt with a good session. We dealt with a choppy session, and now we're going to deal with an extremely volatile session. So we truly are, guys, getting to experience almost everything together. But yeah, Chester, we have blood everywhere this morning. Pretty crazy. So let's waste no time here, team. Let's get into a little bit of prep. I'll share, my charts, the options, and a few things that I'm focused on. So save your questions here, team. Let me get through it, and then I'll take any questions before the bell rings. But let's go talk about it, team. So before we do, guys, remember, we always want to start by looking at the economic calendar and things like that to make sure that we're prefacing and prepared for anything that is coming, whether it's today, this week, etc. So first thing to focus on here, team, is we do have a big event today. So as I mentioned, on the economic calendar, you really want to pay attention to a few certain things that we get. And one of those is always FOMC, which is the Fed minutes. This is a releasement from the Federal Reserve that the market is always waiting for. We don't get it very often, so when we do, it is a fairly good catalyst to keep an eye on. Obviously, we're selling off a ton here with NQ down 1.7, ES down 1.3, YM down 1. Just call it 2. Very interesting start here. So we're seeing a little bit of panic selling into FOMC, and now we need to see what happens this morning. Do we pop and chop until 2? And keep in mind, guys, this is Eastern time. So this is 1 p.m. Central that we'll be getting the FOMC minutes. But this really is the biggest catalyst for today. How do we react leading into it? How do we react during it? And how do we react after it? So most important thing here today, team, is FOMC. Let's talk about the overall market, though. So let's just start fresh here. So if you guys remember our conversation to start the week, we had some really critical levels for the overall market to deal with. We got that big drop, we got that big pop, and we really wanted to see, do we get through this key level and rally back to highs, or do we, kind of roll over here like exactly what we're getting? So we got the pop, we hit our critical levels, and now we are just completely melting down here, team. So we're gonna have to really deal with some big key levels moving forward. Let's just take a look at this daily chart here. So the first key level to focus on, guys, for ES is this 50-day moving average, which is this purple line here. As we've talked about, we got that drop to it here last week. We got that pop, and now we're right back to it. So this really is a huge inflection point for the market. If we take a look here and add the daily cloud, this is going to be an even bigger inflection point as we start to near it here, for the next few days. If we just take a quick glance back at every time that we've hit the daily cloud this year, really good bounce, really good bounce, really good bounce. So even though we are kind of selling off hard here, guys, we just always want to be ready, to see what happens when we get to key levels. All right, you can have a bias, you can have a thesis. Whenever we reach these huge inflection points, we do need to just be wary of what could happen next. So as we drop down here in team, just be careful. Don't really have an official level for this daily cloud, but it is going to be right in this little vicinity that we'll be focusing on for the rest of the day. So let's just dig into intraday here. So this was the drawing setup, the drawing set that we had created together. I shared this one on Sunday, and it's really worked like a charm, team. So remember, we kind of started the week here just sitting in between our point of control zone. We hit it on Friday, that old point of control from last week, and then we just started to migrate down to our new point of control, and that was when we had our Monday session. Right? We were just stuck on that magnet all day. We pushed overnight on Tuesday, and we hit that point of control again. So remember, team, it's just ping pong here until we make up our mind and leave. So you guys can see we drifted again and again and again, and then finally, yesterday, towards the end of the session, had some pretty extreme selling. We broke point of control, we popped back to it, and then just met with that cannon effect, dragging us right down to our next key inflection points. If you look this morning, guys, we are just continuing to bleed, just slowly but surely taking out our entire map. So the biggest levels, guys, are this final zone here. So remember on the daily chart, this is simply just getting back to where we were before. Remember, we have the daily cloud right in that vicinity. And again, we also have the 50-day moving average pretty much right here. Calling it a little bit higher, but it is a little bit lower. So just remember, guys, we are right at that 50. So we do want to practice a little bit of patience. So little tip here, guys, whenever the market gaps down this much, right, we're gapping down a lot. We're almost gapping down in ATR. Unfortunately, that does make our jobs a little bit harder here. And there's two ways that you want to look to approach this. One is you have to expect some type of pop at open, right? It's called covering. People that have been shorting this, they close their positions. To close it, you have to buy. It usually just causes a little pop in the overall market. So it's our job to, one, pay attention. How strong is this pop? And then two, where does this pop go to, right? Where does it go to and where does it stop? So if we look at the market here, guys, again, back to our key zones, I really want to see what happens towards this 50-day moving average. Just added this little pre-market level of 40.66. So now, again, our job becomes, do we just start to pop here? And then do we fade? Or do we just pop here and go sideways until FOMC? Maybe we just open and drop. And if that does happen, that's my least favorite case scenario. Because with premiums, guys, down, 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 down. We don't want to buy these lows. So ideally, we do need a pop here to start the day to set up any fresh opportunities. So we'll see what we're dealing with here, but a few things to focus on are the following. Going to be looking, team, for a push back to the 5-minute cloud. So again, we migrate lower, just like the 1-minute cloud where we get a little too far. Want to look for that push back towards it, and then we see if it's a fadeable pop. Now again, guys, we might pop and then just consolidate and maybe pop even higher, or we might even pop at all. But we definitely want to be patient and wait for the pop. So again, guys, let's just see, do we hold this low? Do we go back near the 50? We're right around it. And do we start to go lower? We just have to be a bit patient here, starting the day down, literally in ATR. Never makes things easy. So today, guys, another tip, when the market is like this and it's starting to panic and it's starting to roll over, I really recommend keeping your focus list extremely tight. Because, when the market panics and the market sells off, everything sells off. And there's no better thing to short than the overall market itself. So obviously the fact that it's Wednesday, we have our SPX 0 days. So that's going to be our main focus today, team. Now, again, we want to respect them and make sure we get a good entry, but they are available all day. So maybe we have to wait till Fed. Maybe we get some good opportunity here this morning, but SPX is the focal point. Because again, if every name drops or every name pops, it's easier to just play the overall market. So currently, guys, not sizing up any options yet to play. These premiums are very expensive. The chain's going to update a little bit here when we open. So really not focused on anything quite yet. Obviously, we can watch targets below. So, 40.50 here. Definitely going to be paying attention to the 40.50 put. However, guys, as you can see right now, they're very expensive because we've been bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. So we do need a bit of a pop. And once we get that pop, we'll start to observe, what does premium look like? What is the volume? So remember, we want to see what are they loading? And then we'll go from there, team. And then for the upside, personally, just really not interested. I'm going to share my focus list here because, like I said, we should or could get a pop this morning. Me personally, guys, I don't really like to trade the market on that pop because right now it's very vulnerable. So what I like to do, and I'll share here in a minute, is find a very strong name, or at least, a relatively strong name, and look to play them on the pop. And then be ready to short the market back down. So for now, guys, not really looking at any SPX contracts. I will update you, as we open and as we're live. But just make sure you keep an eye on SPX because that will be the main focus today. Let's take a look here, NQ. So as I've mentioned, team, NQ truly is our poster child here. They broke through the 50 last week, which sent ES and YM down to the 50. They popped right back to it. That's when ES made their pop. And NQ had to clear here. If it cleared it, we have a good shot of reversing. Well, what happened? We sure did not clear it. So back down we go. As you can see, guys, NQ is very quickly almost at that bottom inflection point. So again, ES still has a little bit of drop in it to reach there, and NQ is clearly still our lagger. So this is the one we want to pay attention to. Next part of the system, if we do break down here, team, is headed towards that 200-day moving average. That's going to get pretty bloody. So let's just look at a quick drawing set here. So if we look, team, that final biggest key level to focus on is this 12,915. So what I want to look for, guys, is just like the overall market. We've bled, we've bled, we've bled. Do we start to pop back up to these key levels? And then do we get a really nice fade to complete the journey back down towards our key levels? So again, really want to focus on breaking this 12,915. And if we look at a daily chart here, focus on this next little zone here, team. And again, if we just look at the 200, it's slightly below it. So we won't mark it right now. We will just focus on this key zone. And we'll see. But let's get into a few setups here, guys. And let me share these charts. Let me just share this ES chart. Here's ES. I'll share NQ as well. This one's a little messier, but give you something to look at. All right, then let's talk about some levels here, team. So first name I like is NVIDIA. And unfortunately, I liked it a little more here until I just saw where it ended. So if we take a look, guys, we got that big drop last week to the 200-day moving average. That was a huge inflection point here for NVIDIA. Caused a nice bounce, a little reversion to the mean, and it's right back here this morning. So again, we closed here, team. This is it's going to gap down 25 points, well above its ATR. So personally, I like NVIDIA, but the fact that it already made this drop, that's just not ideal here, team. I was prepping this morning. I had this little pre-market low, was looking for that bounce and then short, and it just continued to flush. So NVIDIA going to be a side focus today. They can pop your team at the 200. But like I mentioned, with the market being this bloody, we don't want to rush to buy the dip. So personally, this NVIDIA trade kind of, I don't want to say out of the picture, team, but we're going to need some type of good pop. So maybe it pops back towards this 545, and then we can look to short it back down. So again, kind of got ruined here, gapping down a full ATR right to that 200 and right to this daily cloud top here, team. Big levels. Right, we had that daily cloud top the other day, so it is getting a bit finicky, and I'm just keeping that level from prior. So this is exactly where we are ending. And if you see, guys, if we do pop here, that little daily cloud level is also that pre-market level that we had. So again, not my favorite setup here because it already, quote unquote, did the move. But if we could get a little pop, NVIDIA showing that it's extremely vulnerable, we can look to short it back down here, team. So for now, going to watch the NVIDIA 540 puts and, the 545s. Obviously, they're both almost in the money, or technically both in the money. So we'll see what happens on the pop. And again, team, really not interested in buying the dip here. So let's keep moving. Next setup, guys, is Roku. So this is what I mean by we want to have a name where we're just a little more comfortable playing it to the upside. So Roku yesterday, guys, is one of the stronger names in the market. Was in a really nice squeeze, just absolutely exploded on huge volume. And now you can see it kind of just slowed down here towards the end of the day as the market started to sell off. So Roku didn't quite sell off end of day with the market. However, guys, it is catching up here nicely with the market, which makes complete sense. However, the reason I like to have one of these names, so if we just compare this to NVIDIA, NVIDIA yesterday was super weak. It popped and then it completely failed. Roku didn't. So if we do get a morning pop today, team, however long it lasts, maybe 10, 20 minutes, whatever, I want to focus on a name that is a little bit stronger than most. That might be the best name to play on the pop. So in my opinion, that's going to be Roku here today. We got that push off this nice little zone. We ripped through point of control and ran up to that key level that we have been focusing on. And if I just zoom out here, we're trying to get back to these key levels, team. So we ran right through it, didn't quite get to the next one, but overall had a very strong day. So as you can see, Roku slowly but surely, unfortunately, making its way all the way back down. So again, it is weak here. It's getting dragged with the market. But if we do pop it open, guys, and if we do want to play it, I think Roku might be a really good decision. So we'll see where we end up here, team. But if we can get a dip buy at that 310-ish level, just like yesterday, that's a really good spot to at least look to take a quick scalp if and when the market is popping. Other than that, guys, if it just kind of sits here in the middle, gonna leave it alone. But we have point of control at 316 and a nice key level here at 310. Also watching 305, but more so guys want to see the dip here and then pop back to point of control for just a quick little potential scalp. So for Roku team, we can focus on the 330 calls. I had that on my list because they got hit the most, and gonna definitely add another strike here. So let me look at the Roku chain real quick. And we can also add the 320s on this list. And I'm actually also going to add the 325s just to give ourselves a few options. So we got the Roku 320s, 325s, and 330s. And once I'm done updating this, guys, I will share it. So you can make your own with me, or you can just wait a little bit. But that's my setup here on Roku. Do we get the dip to 310, little scalp, and then we see. All right, guys, again, every setup is kind of the same here, so keeping it very tight. And the next one on my list is Tesla. So as I've talked about this week, we really want to focus on what happens at this key zone, guys. And what it can unfortunately happen, team, is these moves can happen after hours, which is why I'm personally considering starting to trade futures, because I don't want to miss stuff like this. You know, I've been waiting for this key level to break, and now it's doing the entire move before the market even opens. So it is a little frustrating. But if we take a look here, team, just remember these basic key levels, right? This was the zone that we were looking for, a dip buy or a breakdown. Nice inflection point, nice inflection point. So yesterday was actually a pretty solid day. You know, it went near it and then absolutely exploded. And now we're bleeding completely through it. So again, team, we're going to have a challenging day ahead. And I don't say that to, you know, scare you, but I say that because, you know, challenges bring a lot of growth. You know, so with names gapping down a ton, already making moves, it does challenge you a bit. Challenge you to be a little bit more patient, you know, wait for good execution. We'll see. So again, little bummed that so much is happening this morning, but I'm also a little excited to kind of, you know, tackle this together. So for Tesla, guys, same premise. You know, do we bounce back to that key level? And if we bounce back to that key level and start to reject it, that's when I want to look to go short again. Right? That's where it would make the most sense. And again, we do have to be careful today because of ATR, about 33 points, because we're down exactly in ATR. So we'll see. But got to be patient. So again, guys, let's just see if we can get that push to this key level. Maybe it pushes halfway and fails, but at least need to get off of these lows, work our way towards inflection points, and then we can play. So the only level I'm going to add here, team, and I'll share this chart is, you know, that little pre-market low. So we got pre-market high, we got our true inflection points, and also our pre-market low. So let me share this chart here, team. Here's Tesla. Yes, Siraj, I can take quick pictures, but just try to follow along with these levels, guys, while I'm talking, because these pictures will take a little bit. But I will quickly take these. Let's see. So here's Tesla. Oh, where's my toss? There it is. Did I share Roku with you guys? Let me share that Roku chart. Sorry, these links are coming randomly. Let's take a quick screenshot. So this is the Roku screenshot, and then let me just screenshot ES for those of you that aren't on TOS. All right, there you go, team. Let me keep moving here. We're doing good on time. All right, back to Tesla. So again, we're gonna really have to just play a lot of these setups, guys, by ear. You know, really work with what the market is giving us. So currently for Tesla here, I have up the 540 puts because that fit my target, and the 550 puts. We're We're gonna have to see what these open at and what they're priced at. And again, if we need to add anything, we'll do it, team. Sometimes you got to move on your feet, but for now, just going to focus on these two strikes here. So again, if we pop to 560, I love those 540 puts if everything makes sense. We'll go from there. But other than that, guys, that's my focus list here. So let me take a quick screenshot of this. Let me share that. I'll share the actual list itself. And then I'll answer any questions here, team. But we got plenty of time for open. We'll get prepared and hopefully have a good day together. So there's a quick screenshot. Nope, Westy, I don't sell options. So none of that here, team. This is all scalping and day trading. Let me share this. And there's the option watch list. So that should be everything, guys. Let me just set my screen up again, get myself ready for open here, and then I'll answer any questions. And I'll explain what we'll be watching at open. So as I mentioned, we're keeping the focus very tight today. We got Roku for potential dip by 310. We got Tesla here. Got to see what happens. We got obviously SPX, ES, and NQ. And on another screen, I will have NVIDIA, just in case it does give us some opportunity. But other than that, team, that's my focus today. Really not interested in, hunts around the board. Everything's going to do pretty much the same thing. So if you don't like what I'm watching, narrow it down to just a few things for yourself. Lifelong learner, are the zones width for equal to 1 ATR? Not always, but usually. Sometimes it lines up nicely like that. But it's not like it has to be an ATR. But when it is, it helps. Darkpool, appreciate you. And absolutely, man, shoot me an email or just send it here and I'll take a look at it. Heather, do you find it's more difficult to scalp during OPEX week since things are so choppy? Not really, Heather. I mean, the only time it's hard to scalp, guys, is like our Monday session where we're just stuck on point of control. We drop hard, pop hard. That's kind of fun. You just need to time it well. So kind of yes and no, Heather. It just really depends what happens during OPEX. If there's a lot of volatility, great. If it's kind of sideways and choppy, then unfortunately, it's just tough. And yep, Darkpool, just Chandler, it's simpler. All right, give me 30 seconds, guys. I'll make sure I'm properly set up here at open to execute if needed. And if you guys need anything, let me know. But we should have our focus list, our key levels, our option watch list. I'm gonna have the tape this time so I don't waste any time grabbing that and missing any trades. And yeah, we're good to go. Bring on Bell. Anil, Amazon, anything? So again, guys, I don't personally care about Amazon. It's going to fall with the market. I can look at it real quick just to kind of gauge some levels. But try to apply what you've learned, guys, on any other name. So real quick here, I'll just start fresh. So obviously we want to see where we're going to, open. That's right there. Where does that put us on a daily chart right here? So just a very quick basic zone, guys, to focus on for Amazon here today. All right, you got that daily cloud in the middle, so you can add a little cloud level in between. And just mark that. Just make it red for daily cloud. Look at a few moving averages. And 200's above. So we're gonna open, guys, right here. Maybe pop that 200 and then fail and break. So let's just hop in here and look at it. All right, so right at inflection point, which also is from Friday. So that's a really nice key level. See if we pop here, team, maybe fill the gap, or maybe we stop at the 200, which is also not pre-market HOD, but you can also add pre-market HOD here. Right, and I would, keep it that simple. You can have point of control, etc. But for Amazon's ATR, right? 100 points below is perfectly fine, given its ATR of 78 points. So that's as simple as I would keep it, my friends. I can share this as well if you'd like, but just pretty basic key levels. And again, I encourage you guys to try to mark these up and send them my way. But here's my thoughts on Amazon. All right, let me just get set up here, guys. We already had a Roku. What was here? Tesla. So let's see here, team. I want to make sure we keep an eye where 5-minute clouds are. So this is what projections are great. For the first pretty much our entire session together, the 5-minute cloud on Tesla, guys, is going to be near our key zone. So this is why you can look at the 5-minute just for a little bit, just to get a sense of where it is. You don't have to keep it up the whole time. So again, if we could pop near here, guys, that's a good spot to look for a fade. And then other than that, we want to focus on the 1-minute clouds. So again, we're kind of starting obviously very bearish. Let's see if we, fade them. Do we break through them and then break back below? We're gonna have to play it by ear. But same thing with Roku here. We're just bleeding that 1 minute. Let's take a quick glance at that 5-minute. And you'll see here, team, for pretty much our entire first half together, it's going to be right at that pre-market HOD. So again, maybe we just play this pop back up to there. And if you want, you could fade Roku. But this is definitely a critical area to focus on for our first 2 hours together, is this 320-ish range. So that's my advice, guys, when you reference 1 minute and 5-minute clouds, is kind of just take a glance at where it is, because it's going to give you like a 30-minute to even an hour projection where you don't have to go back and keep watching it. And then for the market here, guys, same thing. Can we bounce back to 5-minute cloud? That's bouncing back towards the 50. Do we reject and bleed? Or maybe we just open and flush. We're going to play it by ear, but hope this all makes sense. Have some basic key levels here, guys, on SPX. Just yesterday's low, and then the most recent low of that sell-off. All right. So let's see. Everyone feeling good? Feeling confident? Feeling energetic? Let me know in the chat. Quick thumbs up. Everyone good for today? Lifelong. If you just send me, an email with a few links, I'll be more than happy to, slowly but surely get through them. And oh, big pot for Roku. Oh, come on. You're supposed to wait for us. Still in it. Yeah, it's wartime, baby. But all right, guys, we got 2 minutes here. So I am going to tuck the chat away for a little bit. I'll still have it up, but going to keep it very small so I can see the rest of my screen. GP, if you had a SPY put from yesterday to swing, would you sell it at open? Yeah, probably, brother. I would sell it, then look to play again. All right, team, and today is a really good day for us to focus on and learn a little bit about internals. So obviously, we'll see what they look like to start, and then we'll go from there. Fish, I'm going to buy the dip at -4 ATR. Yeah, right. Definitely going to buy the dip here before anything, team. Excuse me, guys. 1 minute. I'm choking on water. All right, H2O trying to take a man down before opening bell. Very good. Yeah, Jim, be careful how many Thinkorswim screens you have open. Even little pop-ups like this can slow it down. Usually, they like to have everything in less pop-ups, the better. But yeah, guys, be careful at open. Whenever we have a volatile start, where you can usually see a little bit of lag. Ding, 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 team. Let's make the most of it. As always, we just want to get a little bit better. So let's just set some alerts here, guys. Start to watch your option watch list. Gonna start to take a peek at Roku for the pop, even though it kind of just popped a lot. Let's see, team. We got a long day ahead of us. So again, if it flushes here at open, guys, I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm gonna let it flush. It's just not by no means good risk reward. So Roku, guys, stuffed right at that 1 minute cloud, stuffed right at pre-market HOD, which as we saw is also a 5 minute cloud. So let's just keep watching here, team. The key is to really see, what are options priced at. So, these Tesla 550s are crazy. I'd like to see them get a little bit cheaper. But let's just see where we pop to, team. Take a quick peek at internals, and we're gapping down huge. So as I mentioned the other day, guys, and we, are 2,000 plus or even 2,000 negative, it makes ADD a little bit harder. So I'd like to see us, at least work our way up. We'll keep watching. So Roku, giving us that pop we expected, team, but that kind of, initial burst before open kind of messed that trade up. Ideally, rather have, taken it down here. So we'll keep an eye on it. Nicely from zone to zone, though. And once we get a little more data here, I'm going to start to observe the SPX chain, and I'll throw a few options at you guys. Good pop here for NQ. We can also add this pre-market low in team. I thought I had snap drawings on. Hold on. Here we go. So we call this a little micro zone. One thing we do want to pay attention to, guys, is do names fill their gap? We have a big gap to fill for most names, so I'm not really expecting that. But if we don't fade, we definitely want to be prepared for a potential gap fill. Something to keep an eye on. So I'm just going to keep flipping around, guys, keep, collecting information, and just got to wait for an opportunity. What I'm not liking is the price of these Tesla puts. We'll keep watching, though. Going to be a weird start here. So far, a little weird. And AP ticks are way down, working its way back to -1,000. So keep an eye on tick, team. If we do spend most of our time just staying below this zone, we are going to flush here, but I expect a pop and internals to kind of guide us higher here. Starting to keep an eye, guys, on the Roku 325 calls. Just observing for now because it's not really near any really good inflection points, but still in it. Yeah, NVIDIA, nice little pop through 1 minute cloud, not bad. So for Tesla, guys, I'm gonna add the 520s to our option watch list. So again, I encourage you guys to do the same. So now observing the 520 puts here on Tesla. Just gotta kind of be flexible with the prices. Keep an eye on Roku here. I don't like that rejection right at key level. We got NQ reaching our first inflection point here, team. So is this our pop for then a drop? We haven't really popped much at all, but this is where we're looking for. We got that 50 MA, we got that cloud. This is a critical moment here. And let me start to size up SPX for a second. And yeah, Lifelong, good eye. Tesla 500 puts are loaded. Little far away, but we can throw those on the list as well. Right, because we're already down ATR, guys, so to drop to 500 would just absolutely be insane, but we can keep an eye on them. Nice pop on Roku here, team. Ah, man. That one just got away from me a little too fast. Oh, man, those premiums moved quick. Dark Bull, good comment there. I know Baidu reported, etc. So could see some Chinese names lead the way. It's not going to move the market, but if you guys are looking at some other names, not bad. All right, let's keep an eye on Tesla here, team. Big level. Big level. So right now, guys, watching the 520 puts on Tesla and Roku 325 calls, kind of just sizing both of these up. And I need to start to look at SPX. All right, so if you look at SPX, team, on your chain, you'll see really nice volume here at 40.30, which gets us to the bottom of our key zone. So that's not a bad strike. I'm going to throw that one on there. Puts are still a little bit expensive. We haven't gotten quite a big pop, but I will watch these 40.30s to start here. And all right, Tesla, that happened a little too fast. So they almost kissed it, guys, and boom, right back down. Wow. NQ hitting that 5-minute cloud. ES right at pre-market low. Pat, if you saved the drawing set, so if you opened what I sent you and saved it, you'll see right here, you'll be able to switch, to what you had prior, little drawing set at the bottom. So to be honest, guys, I'm not buying this first initial flush. We're just down too much. I don't want to buy SPX options at that IV, because if we just go sideways, they're going to rip premium out. So again, it's a tougher day here, team. Don't be in a rush to trade. Just a lot of good lessons. Speaking of volatility, I want to keep an eye on VIX today. Currently above 25. That's a really extreme threshold to be at. Keep an eye on Roku here, guys. This little wedge, if it keeps holding with point of control. Not sure if we'll get another pop at the market, but could be a nice little base here and then turn around. So still just watching Roku 325 calls. All cash right now, team. Yeah, Jim, how about crypto, huh? Quite the morning for cryptocurrencies. So keep watching tick here, team. I'm going to set a 0 alert in case we do, start to reset and pop. And as I mentioned, ADD at these levels, guys, it doesn't really do much because it's down so much. So it'd actually be nice if we could get a pop and then utilize ADD to roll back over. But as you can see, it just kind of there's not much more downside to it, unfortunately. Let's keep stocking Roku here, team. I'm liking this possible Roku turn if the market wants to give us one more little pop. Might not get it, but we're waiting. And the reason, guys, I'm not, trying to short SPX here is, hopefully we're on the same page, is we just gapped down way too much. These premiums are spiked through the roof. It's very dangerous. I'm going to stick to my guns and my rules and, wait for a little bit of a pop. As I mentioned, we might miss it. It might not give us a pop, but we also don't want to break our rules here. With SPX nearing such a key level, let's just wait and see, team. Still liking Roku here, just kind of coiling up, giving us a potential wedge, holding point of control. See if we can break out of it here, get back to 323. Anil, yes, I would wait, guys, because the market is dragging here, so we don't want to buy it early on Roku. We'll just want to see if it can keep holding here, and then break out and get that just reversal. We did trend down, and then boom, we pop. So if it loses pop here, the setup's kind of failing, but I got a weird feeling we're getting one more little pop here, guys. Remember, usually we gap below 1 minute cloud. At some point, we're going to make our way back towards it. So that's really what I'm waiting for. And again, we got Roku here, so that's kind of our upside play, if and when. All right, Roku. Let's start to size up this Roku tape, guys, and we're going to leave Tesla alone for now. Going haywire. All right, liking Roku, though. Holding POC really nicely. Don't want to get an early entry here, but we do want to be ready, team, in case we pop hard, which I am expecting. Not a hard pop, but I just don't think we're going lower before. We need to go higher first. So again, guys, get ready. Have your gun ready. One bullet in the chamber. Watching Roku 325 calls to this week's expire. I will scream when I click that enter button. Right now, just watching it coil. Could be a good early entry here, guys, risking low of day and POC and cloud, but I'm just going to wait 3 seconds for a little more confirmation, which you might get right here. All right, we're right at VWAP, team. Let's see. We're getting the volume starting to turn around a bit. Roku's getting ready. All right, let's see, team. We're getting pushed out of the wedge here. Got to break that little VWAP. If we get one more retest here, team, this would be money, but might have to get in this one here in a second. Still waiting. But you guys like that pop call? I just bait. It's a good lesson there. Whenever we gap down that much, team, don't get caught trying to short that initial drop. And yeah, guys, premiums are moving very fast on Roku. So again, if you're not comfortable trading, just sit here and learn, team. But we're very volatile today, so things are going to be very volatile. Just make sure you guys size down, be patient, have fun. All right, come on, Roku. What you got? Let's get a good volume pop here. Trying to hold that 8. We need to catch a bid, guys. We're at 319 with no bids at 319. There we go. 319 bids. Let's see. It's moving a little slow. These bidders aren't stepping up. This is a very slow breakout here, team. Being very cautious not to lead us into trouble. Tesla again, right? Our key level. Keep an eye on both of these. All right, Roku not really breaking out of this wedge here, guys. So be careful. Market's coming down pretty quickly, and this little wedge becoming invalid. So good little avoid there. I'll keep an eye on it, but oof, what a chop fest. All right, I'll keep waiting. Tom, I just saw you said the Lorna. That's weird. The VIX. All right, team. Still just a waiting game here for now. As I mentioned, today's gonna be a nice test for us together. Good avoid on Roku, guys. Stayed out of trouble there. Just, didn't get the confirmation on the tape. I hope everyone kind of understood and saw why I avoided that one. We just didn't get those bidders. We didn't get a strong pop in volume. They weren't there, team. And I think, one of the bigger things I recognized, and make sure you guys go back and listen to the tape training, when you see price above a key level, so price was above 319, but we didn't have any single bids above 319. That's a false breakout, and that's how you avoid those little entries, guys. So I hope we all kind of caught that live. That was a good lesson. And Roku's still just kind of coiling up here, so not giving up on it, but definitely extreme patience here, guys. Trying to get those precise entries at the right time. Yeah, Gene, my pleasure. I could come in here, guys, and trade my own money extremely aggressively, but I got a bunch of you guys trying to follow and watch me, so we're gonna be just picky. Carol, so the wedge here is just kind of identifying, its downside resistance, but it's not really going lower, so we'd like to see it reverse here and pop. So it's just kind of holding, still getting pushed down. It's either gonna release that downside pressure, or break through this wedge and make a little pop towards high of day at least. So just gonna size this one up here. And again, guys, if we do take this trade, good stop loss below, cloud, point of control, etc. Wayne, no, I wouldn't look at the option. I wouldn't look at tape on an option chart. It'll just be too much. There's really no point. If you look at the chart itself, that'll be plenty of information. All right, team. Oh, there goes Roku gapping out of the wedge. Let's see if we can catch a bid here. Keep watching 319, team. Price above it. We need bids above it. We need bids above it. You guys see what I'm talking about? Price cracks 319, but nobody steps up to buy it. Carol, yeah. So, as long as it can kind of just hang at POC, hang at POC, hang at POC, we're looking for this kind of, shift in momentum, momentum on an intraday basis. So that's where these little, pattern recognitions can help. Now, again, this one might not be valid because it just keeps chopping, but as long as it holds point of control, we're looking for some type of gauge to get a sentiment, so starting to trend a little higher here, starting to break that wedge. We're starting to get the spike in volume, team. It's starting to look good here. Same time, market's starting to go. It's just not catching a bid yet. So watch 319 here, guys. If we can hold these bids, we should get moving. We need to hold 319. Market's holding for now. Ay. Come on, Roku. Another reason, guys, we don't want to rush into trades is with VIX this high, and I mean, 20 plus, 25, is premiums move insane. So we just want to make sure that we reinforce all of our discipline. So let's see here, guys. Do we retest the wedge and hold, and then keep moving here? Need the market to, work its way towards 1 minute cloud, ideally, and then that will set up a potential better short for us as we hopefully play Roku on the way up. All right, Roku starting to hold here, team. Let's just keep watching it. Remember, just have your option ready. I'll scream when I click the button. I'll do my screamo scream. All right, Roku, come on, man. Very choppy start here, team. This is unfortunate what can happen when we gap down so much, in ETR. It might not be any buyers, but sellers are also a little bit tired. So, with FOMC, we might chop here the first half, guys, but one tick at a time. Yep, Jim, still watching the 325s on Roku. I think those are decent strike here, guys. They got, the most volume on the three that we're watching. They're about $4, pretty fair price. If we get back to high a day, they're going to go, close to 7. So pretty good risk reward here if we can catch this pop. I don't know if we'll catch it. Well, we'll catch it. I don't know if it'll do it. Lorna, but the price has spiked. Why would you buy at such a high price? I don't think it's that high. And again, guys, if we size up the Roku chain here, we want to try to play where there's liquidity. So you could play the 330s as well if you want a cheaper contract. That's another great alternative here. And it doesn't look like we'll even be able to play here, team. Mike, which button are you going to smash? The buy the ass button or just put an order near the last trade? Order near the last trade, Mike. So you just try to get filled in the mid. Let's take a quick peek at internals, guys. So as I mentioned, with ADD this low, it doesn't help on the downside. It can help on the upside. So we're slowly working higher. And then more importantly, guys, is going to be tick. So again, kind of looking for the first reset at 0. When you gap up, it usually works its way to 0. When you gap down, it works its way to 0. And then we'll have more of a sense of, what could happen next. So looks like we're about to get that 0 retest. And we'll see if we break through and start to go positive. At that point, we should work our way towards cloud. And then if we do reject it, guys, we'll probably just work our way lower. One tick at a time. So yeah, guys, again, little wedges aren't always going to be the most valid thing, but as you're watching a stock, print information, we want to be ready. So, I see it starting to just trend down here, give us some of these, lower highs, and it's also just staying flat. So that's what kind of gives us a wedge here, team, right? You can see the flat line base with the downside ramp. So we want to see, is it going to just hold up and then break that and continue higher? As we're seeing, if it doesn't, it's going to eventually just flush. And all right, let's switch to Tesla here, team. JP got in Tesla puts, nice. Yep, Tom, give me 1 minute on that, my friend. So Tom, here's a single tape. And then real quick, I'll give you the single active trader. So there's both, Tom. So something I want to pay attention to as an ES, kind of just like Roku here, is this little wedge that it's, trying to form. And it looks like we're getting a nice little pop here. So again, team, we gap down. Just be very patient. Wait for us to migrate back towards clouds. Wait for internals to kind of reshape up, et cetera, et cetera. Can I share this grid? Yeah, of course. Let me just save it real quick. Here you go, Dark Pool. Nice, JP. Quick Scout 4753. Nice, man. What are you playing? The 520s? But I mean, overall here, team, this is just a massive chop fest. There's by no means any good opportunity here this morning. So we'll keep sitting, we'll keep being patient, and we'll be ready. I think the first thing for us to slowly size up here is a push back towards cloud. Right? If we can get back towards cloud, start to fade, maybe even give us a little uptrend here to possibly break through, that'd be even better. So again, guys, it's all about patience on days like this where the board just truly gets shaken up pre-market. So gonna take another look at SPX chain, and still really liking the 40-30 puts on SPX. 40-30 puts. Nice dark pool in JD, 85 cents to 2. Boom, brother. 100% plus. Good stuff. Artful, if you drop down, you'll see the little little arrow on your active trader. If you click it, it drops down another menu, and you'll see where to change the quantity. 40-30 puts, guys, for today's expire. Today. So let's see here, team. If we break this little wedge, ideally I'd like to get a little close to that cloud, but I don't know why I have zoom up. Nice little resistance here, guys, intraday. Come on, SPX, make up your mind. So if you guys take a quick peek at internals, right, we did reject that 0. So we'll see if we start to head back down into these bloody zones, or do we do, do we pop back through 0? But just like the market, guys, internals can give you a nice little sense of trend where we're kind of just trending up here. If we start to tick below this trend, that's when the market will probably roll over. So there's actually a really good trend line to focus on for not only tick, but ADD is not bad either. Just see if we start to, all kind of shift that momentum back down, if I'm making sense. And Q guys, just wick. We are failing here. So sizing up here, guys, these 40-30s. Might be a good little wedge break here. Or we might just get chopped up, but. All right, guys, gonna get ready to potentially take a shot here at the 40-30 puts in this little wedge break. Gonna wait a second though, because everything just feels like bait, and I don't want to lead you guys into a mess, but not gonna be afraid to take losses either. It's part of the game. All right, let's see here, team. We're getting a little flush. Maybe get a little quick retest. But down goes Roku, down goes ES. ES is looking solid. Bear with me, guys. My toss is lagging right now. I tried to get filled there. My toss just messed me up a bit. All right, unfortunately, guys, was trying to take that shot and did not get filled. I have a canceled order at 3.2. They already ripped to 4. SPX, guys, remember I just said sizing up 40-30s. All right, dang. So that was perfect, team. It just didn't get filled. Blah. SPX can be a bit hard to get filled on occasionally. But we also don't want to chase, guys. Tried at 3-2, and they're already at 4-1. Ah, man. And we get filled there. And guys, in the kindest way possible, just please make sure you're listening. I've said the strike probably 10 times. So again, guys, let's just listen, be ready. But that was a quick dollar plus in premium. Nice little trend line. Yeah, AP toss does suck. I'm actually opening an Interactive Brokers to test. Tom, market at 4. Awesome trade there. Crap. So if you did catch that, guys, be careful at low of day here. Manage that one. See what happens here at low of day. Tick is in our negative spot. So as long as we're sitting here, guys, you can expect this to flush. Watch that low of day. We're getting that trend line break. And oh man, this was a great trade. Dang it. Those options, guys, at 4-6 from 3-2. Again, just see what happens here at low of day. As long as tick is here, you're good to go. I'm not going to chase, but I will guide you guys through this one. Nice, low a day, premium almost at high a day on those, from about 3.2 to 5 here. As long as tick's here, team, we're gonna bleed. We're gonna bleed. Keep watching tick. All right, we held 1,000. Be careful here, team. At low a day. If you have a few, I would lock some in. Caught a nice spike there. Ay, ay, ay. And boom, nice big pop on tick. So yeah, guys, manage this one. Careful. Nice little scalp though. Wow, really big tick. Yeah, Lee, that's the problem. Is it's not just your brokers, guys. I've actually noticed on every day like this, I usually have trouble getting filled, unfortunately. Tom, 4 to 4-3, nice. Nice quickie. I saw you mark it in as well, so good job there. Ray out before the pop, 4-7-5. Nice, my man. Good stuff. Does that trade make sense, team? A pretty basic one, but pretty good one. So again, we just kind of have basic resistance here. Waiting for the market to pop. Market pops, gives us a little trend line. We see, a trend line on both internals. They both break it. Nice little scalp. That's the worst feeling. You wait 30 minutes to trade and then don't get filled. It's all right. We keep waiting. But congrats, guys, whoever caught that. Nice little trade. Just make sure if you're still in it, be careful here because premiums and SPX move crazy. Rick, any hope on Roku? Yeah, absolutely. I actually still like Roku. It's getting down to our key level we were focused on. Not to keep redrawing this wedge, but we're just trending down. So, eventually just waiting for this overall trend to shift. So, once it bases and starts to go, yeah, we'll take a look at it. But for now, market's in dive mode. Dr. HPA 348 to 46. Nice. Great trade. Adam, do I usually draw trend lines on tick as well as the stock? Only when they're applicable. So like right now, guys, we broke that trend line and then we rejected that trend line. And so the market, can make another H here. Meanwhile, ADD broke that trend line. So these are just a little basic pattern recognition that you guys can do is start to see, our internals in the market trending up. Can we have a clear trend? Can we wait for that inflection point where it breaks and then attack, kind of just like this? And usually, team, on SPX, I don't like to chase secondary flushes because if it pops, you get destroyed. So I'm going to be a bit patient here, but we could get a little, what's called a lowercase h, where we drop, we make a little h, and then we flush again. So if we do flush here, guys, looking for a drop towards that 40.56. And again, as long as SPX, tick stays in this zone, we're going to flush. So let's just keep watching here. Set a low a day alert here at ADD. So be careful, guys. We already got NQ trying to bounce here. Right, 5-minute candles. So YM's down, NQ's popping. Just be very careful here, of us basing and potentially popping. So if anyone's long, short, just keep it super, super tight here. And look at our little Roku. I'm telling you guys, Roku wants to go. We just need the market to support it. Could see that yesterday. So remember our system, guys, right? We're below the 8. We break the 8. We can go to the 21 on the 1 minute. We break that 21. We're now back below the 8. Let's see if we reject the 8 and keep flushing. If we do break both, we might have a shot at that 1 minute cloud for another fade down towards this 40.56. I hope everything I'm saying is making sense, team. If it's not, please ask, and I'll make sure everyone's on the same page here. Tick screaming, tick screaming. Is your flush? All right, I knew today would be a great example to teach tick. So remember, guys, the 600 and 1000 negative, that's our bloody zone. When we trade in there, we flush. All right, so we're stuck in here. We get the little pop. We're back into it. We're starting to flush. But like I mentioned on Monday, when we hit 1000, it can also mean exhaustion. So if we do pop hard here, just be careful for a potential reversal. We get Tesla starting to work its way back. We got Roku working its way back. Benji, 29 to 45. Nice. Great stuff, guys. Congrats to anyone that got filled on that. And if you didn't get filled, congrats on hopefully not chasing the lows here. That's also a little small victory. So let's take a peek here, guys, at Roku's 5-minute cloud just to make sure. All right, yeah, we still got that same premise. Great lock on SPX. Carol didn't get filled. It happens, guys. Well, my rules is it's okay not to get filled. It's not okay to chase. Tom, locked and loaded. Let's go, my man. One good trade. That's all we need. That one wasn't bad. Ideally, guys, I'd like a little pop towards cloud. Maybe reject that base that we just flushed and get another one. But we'll play it by tick. Not worth assuming. But just to lay out a few, ideas. Kind of like we laid out this idea. If we can hit this resistance, break a trend line, it's a nice little scalp. So tick, guys, still in our zone. And I believe I shared this, but if you guys don't have this, I want to share this one more time. So you can watch these internals. And again, because as long as we sit here, guys, this move will flush. And you can use the combination of tick with the combination of the 8 EMA to kind of, hold that trade if you were still in it. Or again, you want to be careful here with these ticks, but as long as they kind of stay in the zone, we stay below that 8, you could technically grind this thing a little longer. But check out that link I just posted, and that is the internal grid, if you guys were interested. But this was a really great trade to back test, guys, and study, using the internals and just using some basic, trend lines. So again, we gap down, let that morning, flush happen, see what happens on the pop. So like we talked about, do we get in that cloud and zone? We got near it and just completely rejected. Recognize a trend line for an inflection point, and then boom, back down towards the lows. Internals do the same thing, and now looks like we're off to the races. So great trade, guys, and hopefully good lessons. Now back to Roku. Man, didn't mark that key level. That was a mistake on my end. Those pre-market lows, guys, are always phenomenal levels. Kind of failed to put that one on the chart. Not sure why, but nice hold there. Tesla, guys, kind of in the middle of nowhere. We'll see if they get back to that zone. Another thing we could watch too here, team, I just noticed was a beautiful little trend line on NQ. So if we break this, we'll definitely get another leg led down by NQ. They were the weakest this morning, and they're actually becoming the strongest. So good information in NQ. And what I mean by that, guys, is this morning they were down the most, and right now YM is bleeding lower while NQ tries to keep us afloat. So just kind of that rotation lesson we've slowly been talking about. Tom, with testing and using your system on futures, have you noticed any idiosyncrasies or modifications needed? No, Tom. No, I haven't been trading futures, but I've been observing them, and it's all the same stuff, which is really motivating. It's just an extra emphasis on entries and patience. Because as you might know, if you trade futures, you can control, your risk a little more. You know what you're going to make per point, etc. So it's really about just getting that tight risk reward and executing. Puma, today without any trades, your comments are providing invaluable learning. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Thank you. And yeah, Stretch, by the time you get things ready to go, sometimes you miss it. No problem. Just make sure, internalize the actual trade that happened and be ready for the next one here. So let's see, guys, this trend line really has me intrigued. And just a little trick here, when you draw trend lines, you can actually also create alerts on them. So you'll see I have an alert now set if we actually break this trend line. And the way you do that is to draw a trend line, right click it, and it's going to show you create alert with drawing. And that's a really cool hack you can do to kind of see if and when a trend line will break. Roku wants to go. Yeah, it sure does. Not the easiest range here, but definitely keep it a close eye on this one. My favorite upside trade, at least. Awesome, Karen. Appreciate you. Yeah, guys, don't be afraid to be in learning mode. With VIX is high, market down so much, it's definitely, one of the more volatile days that we'll probably have together. So just soak that time up. Don't be afraid to trade, but don't be afraid to learn as well. It's not always about making money, guys, because these skills, these lessons will serve you for the rest of your life in your trading career. That's why we're all here. So pay attention here, guys, to tick. So again, we can kind of get rid of these little, trend lines as they become invalid. But more importantly, here's what's happening. So again, when we're here, we're flushing. And as soon as we leave it, that's when we start to bounce. One thing to really pay attention to, guys, is what happens when we bounce. Usually we bounce and go to zero and then come right back down. So be ready here. But if we pop through it, then we're going to see a little more of a push. Let's just keep watching. I like Roku here, team, but we're definitely going to need a better looking entry. Playing it into this whole mess is just not ideal. So see if we get a little, pullback here for higher low and then maybe an entry, but definitely not going to force it on Roku. I like the chart, but I hate the range. Rather, I like the name, but I hate the chart. And Rafa, yeah, I just saw your question. Just zoom out, like G said, and you should be able to see the internals. Big moment here, guys, for the market, NQ especially. Roku, beautiful dip out that pre-market low. So again, I kind of failed to mark that level, team. Make sure you always mark, pre-market hot and pre-market low, because they come back to be, some of the best inflection points for each session. All right, team. So next trade I want to size up is if and when we start to get back towards, this little zone here where we kind of, held this morning and right with that cloud. So we'll keep an eye on it. And yeah, Chris, there is a study, guys, where you, I actually don't know what it's called. Yeah, there's a daily high low. I'm not sure if there's a pre-market high and low, Chris, but again, guys, it just takes a little diligence of marking them, but. Oh, okay, you have to find it on the web, thank you. Pat, so on the watch list, ATR is it's already in there. So if you just go to edit it, you'll find ATR if you just search it and add it to the list. And the point of control is a custom code, so unfortunately you won't be able to find that one. All right, let's see. I love these challenging days. VIX still lingering near 25. ES here, right? That pre-market low. So good level to pay attention to, team. Can we kind of crack through that, or do we kind of just reject it here? Yes, Artful, you can pin a flex grid. So just like right here, I have this flex grid. I don't have it pinned because I have nothing else on this screen. But yeah, you can make it smaller and pin it. So, like my internal flex grid is literally just a flex grid. The same as this. I just, it's smaller and pinned. So yeah, you can actually do that so it stays on top. And again, the reason I want to pin stuff, guys, is so you can, move around your other charts while this doesn't go away. Yep, Lorna. So at this point, looking for us to migrate back towards that cloud and then start to fade again. At that point, we'll probably get another uptrend here that we'll be able to short. So just kind of seeing if we could get towards that cloud. We haven't even gotten there once today, which is a little annoying. But it just goes to show guys how weak the market is. So I don't really like to draw these trend lines, guys, until we get 2 official points. So we'll see if we can pop here to cloud, because then that gives us a really nice trend line to then look to potentially fade it again. And for SPX, guys, I'm honestly going to rinse and repeat the same option, the 40-30s. If you take a look, they went from 2 to 5, and they're back down to 2-ish. So we'll play them back to 5 again. That's kind of what you can do on SPX once you find a strike you like. While the market does start to pop, guys, we want to pay attention to what other names are doing, meaning if other names start to look relatively strong, we obviously want to be careful short the market. But if everything just kind of trickles up and then they all fall together, we're going to have a good fade here. Karen, you hear, or all you guys, the news on Shop yesterday, they partnered with Google for, for like online shopping. That was huge. Shop absolutely exploded. Kind of unfortunate, it's getting stuck with the market down here because Shop wants to go. Actually, I haven't looked at it. What's it doing today? Oh yeah, of course. It's probably the only name green. Unreal. So that's another example, guys, of a name you could have traded today where it's like, okay, this thing is obviously just extremely strong. If and when the market just stops going lower, it's going to go higher. I was hoping Roku would do that. So NQ here, big test team, right? Again, we want to collect information on the way up. So if we just kind of grind up here, this could be a good fade, or it might just lead to a breakthrough. So we'll keep watching. Right now, ES is, rejecting pre-market LOD. That's always nice. Just not one little more push towards that cloud. Don't always have to wait for the cloud team, but remember the class. If we can play near inflection points to control our risk, we're doing our job. Chris grabbed some Shop earlier. Nice. Again, team, keep watching tick, tick, tick here. Kind of struggling at that 0. Not quite sold on this flush here, guys. Again, I don't want to get too picky, but just per my system, I like to let it do certain things. And I'm not convinced about this one, guys, because NQ is looking strong here. We'll see. We'll get rid of this little trend line and see if we have to make it from here towards that cloud. But boom, here's my point, team. Pay attention to other things on the way up. And you know toss is laggy when the alerts don't work. So there it is, team. That's exactly what I meant by, NQ was the weakest. And now it's trying to pull us back higher, and boom, there it goes. There it goes. Tesla breaking its big key level. So now what I mean, guys, is as we get to this cloud, not really fully sold on shorting it yet. Just want to be a little bit more patient now. Doesn't mean we can't short it, but let's let it get stuck there first. Once it gets stuck, we can go from there. Emmanuel, tried to take SPX, my friend. I didn't get filled, so unfortunately no trades for myself yet today. But only now we're in. The SPX was a nice one, though, so it does stink to miss that one. But crap happens. Artful Good Eye, yep. ADD, guys, working its way back towards HOD. Logix, Roku, 1-1-3, nice. Nice 30% return, good stuff. So again, guys, this looks like a real pop, good pop for NQ. So probably not gonna look to fade this right away unless we do stuff it in. We'll see. But don't be in a rush at this cloud here, team. And maybe we get a little pullback in a Roku to this cloud. Man, what an uptrend. Here we go, team, right at the cloud. Just keep paying attention. We finally just got tick high of day. So no rush short here. We're getting ticks, in the positive range. Things are moving up for now. All right, guys, I'm just flipping around a few things on another screen here. Nvidia made it back to that 550, kind of just range bound, but not bad. It's gonna start to watch, guys. Instead of Roku 325s, 330s here. Still don't really have an ideal entry, but want to keep an eye on this one. Puma 400 on Nvidia, nice. What'd you trade? Like, what was the setup? Did break cloud, hit a level? Just curious. And great job, guys, trading your own. So as I mentioned, team, we got to get context on the way up, where the context on this little pop was not like the context here, where we were still weak. So nice flush. On this pop so far, we're fairly strong. We'll keep watching it, but patience, patience. Puma at the low today. Nice. Great trade, man. All right. It's pre-market hard. A lot of trouble for Roku. ES cleared theirs with no problem. Excuse me. Nothing wrong with that, Puma. If you don't want to play, this week's expire, you can buy next week's. My advice, my friend, would be don't be afraid of it, though. There's nothing to be scared of. If you're scared of, the movement, you can size down a little bit. But, or again, you can just play next week's for a little more control. There's no wrong answer. Great trade regardless. Roku kind of coiling nicely here, team. I'd like a little pullback towards maybe VWAP and Cloud for a little reset here. It's just kind of been grinding higher, so not really interested in trading as a grind up. Dark pool. I saw Target's earnings and just wow, blowout earnings. Let's see. Yeah, Target's up 4.5% today. Wow. I'm gonna flip through a few names here, guys. Facebook, Google, just to get a quick little glance at the market. So keep an eye here, guys. We are rejecting this downtrend from open on a 5-minute chart. Keep an eye on Roku here as well. 1-minute Cloud, VWAP, etc. I really like this trend line here, guys. Right near that cloud. Let's keep watching this one closely. And again, still got those 40-30 puts up as the trade if and when we get a signal. So as you can see, team, a lot of these names are doing the same thing. Where, they're kind of just slowly grinding up, Tesla, Roku, etc. So let's see if they start to, give it up, or do they, continue to hold this trend line and go higher? Market's kind of in a similar thing. Internals are just kind of at bay. We're right at hot here, so we can set a hot alert. Tick kind of just ticking around. Ticking around, doing its job. Roku holding out 1 minute cloud decently. Get a VWAP right at it as well. Be careful, guys, on going too far out on Roku. They're actually they're lowering the bid a lot when it goes lower. So I think I'm actually going to focus on the 325s again. The spread on the 330s is just a little too wide. And there's a nice pop at Cloud team. Let's pull up tape here, get rid of that. Not much volume on any of this. Keep watching SPX here, team. Might get another trade in a minute. We're just continuing down here. Patience pays. We're getting a little slight uptrend in the 1 minute. We're messing around our cloud. Let's see if NQ starts to work its way back down. Let's start to get internals in the picture here since we're not going to read tape on SPX. Let's keep an eye on tick. Uh-oh, here we go. So tick screaming here, guys. We're starting to break our key level. I'm just going to give it a minute. It's the Wu-Tang reversal. Yep, Kim still same strike on SPX, guys. 40-30 puts. See what happens to this little cloud pocket. See, we're all kind of topping out at the same time. Kind of waiting here, team, for a little pop. You know, we kind of flushed to that trend line, so I'm just waiting a little bit here. That hesitation might cost me, but I'm just gonna be honest. Watching Q start to work back down to their trend line. Watch this little support right here. This also goes back to our first low of day. All right. So unfortunately, guys, just flushing right through it here. Didn't really get a retest. So we'll see if we pop back to that cloud. Again, just not going to chase, guys. It's too volatile. Sometimes patience can hurt you. Sometimes lack of patience hurts you. but nice little inflection here. I'm just being a little too patient. All right, damn it. So good trade there, guys. Looks like they're not going to give a pot for Chan Man. JP sold too soon. It's all good, man. I wish I had something to sell. Man, Roku wants to just go so bad. As soon as this market's done bleeding. Watch out, Roku. All right, team. My lack of aggression, I missed that one. Looks like Karen hit it. Nice, guys. Good stuff. You guys are a little more aggressive than me, and it's paying off. Nice, Karen. Great work. Lorna, 3 to 3-8. Good stuff, team. Always pay attention to low of day. Nice little flush. Good work. Y'all are better than me. Oh, my. Nice, Gene. 625. Boom, boom, boom. Good stuff, guys. It was a nice little trade. I guess I'm just being a little too fearful of these volatility, which is a mistake. Because just another good trade here, team. A little quickie, but premium moves. So yeah, congrats to everyone. Everyone but myself. Terry, 28 to 37. Boom. Cookie sold for 50 cents. Nice. Yeah, congrats, everyone. Good stuff. And there goes Roku. Yeah, I know, Karen. I'm not gonna beat myself up. I'll it is just personally a little annoying, but that's my fault. I'm glad you guys are hitting it though. So now we shift to our bullish trade, Roku. We short SPX, we go long Roku. So Roku, guys, nice little pop here. Broke that wedge again. It's kind of giving us that look where it just really wants to go if the market wants to go. Not go lower, rather. Yeah, right, JP? No, you guys are doing great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I like it. No hesitation, no fear, just taking good trades. Cookie, that makes me feel better. Yeah, it is hard to talk, teach, and trade. Definitely an acquired skill here, guys. But I'm really glad you guys aren't waiting for me to necessarily pull the trigger. Ron, no, I wouldn't short this one, guys. This more so looks like a bottom. You know, we got that little flush here, but you know, NQ's not going lower. A lot of names are kind of showing they want to go higher. So at this point, guys, I would wait for this big inflection point to break, or unless we pop hard and then start to roll over again. But had a little nice precision scalp here, a little precision scalp here, and now I would kind of just wait and see what sets up again. But two good opportunities, guys, in SPX. Good job capitalizing. Here comes Roku team. There it is. Let's see. Unfortunately, we do have a very tough upside range, but this is a nice little flag break here. Yeah, Karen, ADD is going to be fairly flat most of today. Like unless we absolutely start to rip higher, it's gonna. Remember, guys, when we're in negative 2,000, deep 2,000s, tick isn't the best. Excuse me, ADD isn't the best. However, it can't keep going here, so we'll just continue to keep an eye on it. Oh, yeah, yeah. So we're still kind of stuck in this little weird, funky SPX cloud. It's starting to lose its validity. Gerald and Roku, nice. Yeah, I'm looking for entry here, guys, in Roku. I'm kind of letting too much crap slip by here. We're still stuffing this 5-minute trend line here, team. Keep an eye on that one. We might just stuff it till we break and explode, but definitely a good little inflection point here intraday. Mad Mike playing SPX up. Nice. Yeah, see if it holds the 8 here and starts to work its way higher. Might take Tesla off the screen a bit here, team. Not really doing much. I might swap it with NVIDIA. I'm taking a quick look at NVIDIA. Yeah. We'll stick with what we have. Give me 1 minute, guys. I'm gonna take a quick 1 minute break. I'll be right back. All right, my bad, guys. I apologize. Quick sound check. Just thumbs up. Everyone hear me? All right, thank you, Lee. Appreciate it. 8 p.m. Going to ask JC what to do. All right, let's see here, guys. So personally, not the best first half for me. Missed fills, just crap like that. So I got nothing going on here, but definitely need to step it up a smidge. So let's stay focused. And one thing, guys, just while we're being real here, these are the emotional battles that come with trading, where you might miss a trade, and now it's like, "Oh, shit, I want to force a trade," but that's where now I personally need to control myself a little more, not let the frustration of missing a few things lead into just taking some crappy trade just to be like, I traded. So anyways, moving forward, we're in the side of this cloud team. Pay attention to that key level above. We did finally, looks like we got through that little 5-minute trend line here. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, Karen, Chris. So beautiful little bottom here, team. Might be just a bottom into FOMC. We'll deal with that. We'll deal with that in our second half here, but definitely not much downside. And Q having a really nice uptrend forming. So obviously, based on our zones here, guys, looking for that pushback towards 5-minute cloud, that 50 MA, kind of this high of day range. Obviously, very critical to see what happens here. SPX also at this little intraday level. Dark pool, much love. Thank you, Puma. Yeah, Puma, that was a great one. And again, guys, these things are recorded, so you can go back and actually watch that on the tape again. And, you'll see exactly what I shared in the tape reading video, where we'll step above a key level. And if you're not watching the tape, you're just seeing the candle and it's like, oh, time to buy. But that's why tape is so important, is it kind of gives us that look under the hood where it's like, yeah, price is through it, but there's nobody in line. ES bounce around VWAP. Let's just throw in a few other indicators. Yeah, nice call. Right at VWAP. All right, definitely have to do some hunting here. VIX finally starting to cool down, heading near 24. Unless the cat stack. Carol, just for learning, when Roku crossed the cloud at 719, I'm assuming you're West Coast, Carol, right? Okay, thank you. So 1019 my time. Let's see, 1019, 1019. Oh, look at the wrong name. Any reason I trade it right here? Yeah, just because it's just a very messy range, guys. It's just kind of finding its way through it. This is the trade that I would have wanted to take that I just unfortunately missed. Puma, yeah, absolutely. So I mentioned VWAP works only a few times a day. Can you elaborate? So VWAP, what I mean by that, guys, is it's really it's just one of those indicators where you're not going to meet it often, depending what's happening that day. So you can see, right now, this is our first time hitting VWAP, and it might be our last. we're either going to break through it or, just kind of chop around at it. So that's what I mean by it's one of those things that it's just not in play as much. And I still like it because it has good information, but you're just not going to be able to, use it all the time, for example. Hope that makes sense. And yeah, Algo, just too many wiki candles, guys. These aren't, the best scalping opportunities. More so want to wait for, patterns, etc. So nice little resistance here at VWAP. That's why, again, it's finally in play. Carlos, my thoughts on anchored VWAP. I've personally never been able or, had the experience to use it, but I do know Ragi does, an amazing job with anchored VWAP. And I think, just the logic behind an anchored VWAP makes complete sense. So I got no problems with anchor. Carol, you took that, the cloud, and it dropped back and sold. Now it's back up. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing with chop here, guys, is if you do try to scout little moves, it can go higher. But sometimes, even then, premium's not moving much at all either. So just really, guys, wait for your pitch here. Would I consider Roku 330 is coming into play? Better volume now. Let's take a look at the chain here, guys. Roku. So yeah, 330 is definitely starting to look like a solid strike team. Pretty fairly priced. Pretty good volume. So yeah, 325s or 330s. Really, no difference. Actually, I think 330s are probably better now. I just didn't like the spread earlier, so I'll keep an eye on them because I am looking to get a little piece of Roku here today. Lee, what'd you trade, man? Come on, don't hold back on us. So right now, just off of a glance, as you guys saw this morning, when you're just looking at stuff, you see trade start to unfold and, slowly but surely set up. Right now, I'm not seeing a ton. One thing I will be looking for is Roku back to this 1 minute cloud again. I don't know if we'll get it, but I will be waiting. Other than that, market's kind of got to figure itself out here. Gonna get back to this key level. Looks like it wants to, holding the 8. Same time, that's going to be VWAP, 5 minute cloud, 50 MA-ish range. Yep, Jim, we got the Fed at 2 p.m. Eastern. So definitely be careful, guys, what happens if you start to near it, into it, etc. Yeah, Rick, exactly. Probably slow us down a little bit, and then we'll deal with the chaotic aftermath. If it is chaotic, who knows? We'll be ready for it, good or bad. Yeah, right, Tom? We literally start right when FOMC starts. Vinny, curious how we'll trade with FOMC. If they're at inflection points, do we want to pay attention to what they say? Because we could be in the middle of a zone and then see a pop, etc. Yeah, Vinny, so it really just depends what happens. And like Lee's saying, there is no presser. It's just a releasement. So unless they say something extreme in that release, it most likely will be a non-event, but we need to be ready for anything. So we'll just assume, guys, it'll be a normal afternoon, but we do have a catalyst at 2 o'clock that could change things up. Algo, can you talk about your volume study? Yeah, sure, man. I mean, it's a pretty basic volume study, guys. So, I just have the basic volume on toss, and then I use a basic volume average of just about 50. And, it gives you a little sense of when you're getting, good volume or not. So it's nothing crazy. I don't know if you have any specific questions on it, let me know. But yeah, Kai, absolutely. If we hear that word, the algos will be looking for it as well. Taper, taper, taper. So pay attention here, team. We broke that trend line, and now we're retesting that trend line. See if it's a little pop, a little drop. But right now, just a bunch of chop, chop. No taper tantrums allowed. Dark pool, yeah. I mean, remember the 50 average on a 1 minute chart is going to be different than, a daily chart. So I like the average on most things where you get a sense of, is volume bigger or larger. One thing I really like to do is focus on a 15-minute volume, where a 15-minute volume is generally large. So you can see the first 15 minutes here is green. That usually means Tesla's going to stay afloat today. So again, just little compasses here, guys. Nothing special on the volume. It just really helps you get a sense of, is it low volume like right now on Roku? Or can, we start to get some pops? So maybe my wish comes true. We get Roku again at that cloud. But we got about 30 minutes left, team. So we'll keep doing what we're doing. And if you guys have any questions you want answered before the second half, let me know. But for now, just going to keep looking for one good trade. Yeah, Vinny, usually Pablo speaks afterwards, but today we're just getting the release. Ticking ADD right now. ADD, kind of just drifted through those hot, and Tick's kind of about to scream here. We'll cover a little Tesla with internals, so you guys keep an eye on them. Yeah, kid, watch the 330s on Roku. 325s aren't bad as well, so it's just a matter of preference at that point. So let's see here, team. We got the break through the cloud the first time. Let's see if we get the little retest and hold. Artful. Sorry to hear that, but truly appreciate you being here. And thankfully you'll have that recording, so hopefully there'll be some nugs for you to learn from. Roku little bounce at cloud. If you guys notice on the 330s, the spread gets really wide right now. And that's what I don't like about it. It's about a 30-cent spread, which isn't the best. And granted, it's also a 30-cent spread on the 325s. So see if we can hold this little range here, guys, and turn around for Roku. Cookie off to the PGA Championship. Oh, man. Have a great time, Cookie. Appreciate you being here. Pay attention, guys, to the Roku spread. It'll probably be better once it tightens. If it doesn't tighten, it might be a sign as well. So just going to keep watching it here at this key level. We'll pull up the tape. Just get rid of that for now. Adam, right now I'm watching, getting ready to play it. And honestly, guys, I'm just kind of struggling here with strike to pick. I'll stick with the 330. LB, absolutely. Just give me a minute. But Marcus popping here, guys. So yeah, loving Roku. All right, there it goes. Let's try to get filled here on Roku. Spread is super wide, team. So gonna have a little trouble trying to get filled here. Oh, yeah, his spread is huge. Come on now. All right, guys, I'm not filled, so I'm going to hold off for 1 second here and just trying to get filled. All right, filled at 295. 295 on Roku 330s. And let's see, team. Keep it tight. Again, I don't want to force trades because I missed a lot earlier, but this is a nice little dip buy in our system. We do need to get back through the 8, back through pre-market high. There's a nice little pop. Got to get through this pre-market level, team, or this one might get rejected. So if we get a pop through there, it's going to be a nice little scalp to end it. Up about, not much. So let's see, we're at the market pumping. Nice little pullback at cloud. We just need Roku to get through this mean here. SPX, nice. All right, Roku, you better run now. You've been waiting all day for this. Any news on that, guys? That was a big pop. No. I have the news up. All right, there goes Roku team. Come on. You waited all day for this. So again, guys, just no matter what happens here, good patience, base. Take a little shot, see what happens here. Got to get back to this 320.50. We'll keep watching the tape. In at 295, up about 30 cents on the option. Got to get through here. Keep watching the tape, guys. We got 220 bids finally. 320 bids. We need these 320 bids to stay. They keep leaving. Don't leave. 320. It's just stuck at this pre-market level, guys. If we could pop through it, I'll probably close this trade. Vice versa, I'm going to exit back to this cloud. Market also at a big inflection point. Yep, need some bids here, guys. As you can see, we're not getting those bids. We'll give it a minute here. Still green on the trade, so nobody panic. And again, too, guys, not that I want to give us a loss, but we also don't want to be afraid to take losses. So let's just see what happens here. Need those bids, team. Let's see if we start to ramp this cloud. Gotta hold this cloud. Right now, there's nothing crazy stopping us in the tape. Obviously there's something at this pre-market level that's been holding us back. So we got to hold 320 team and then get some bidders at that 50 cent mark if and when we can test it. But let's just start with getting some bids above 320 here on Roku. All right, here we go. Let's give a strong pop here, team, and look to sell into this consolidation possibly. We'll play it tick by tick here. But these bids are just very thin at 320. It's the information that we want to kind of take in each trade is pay attention. Are they being, wussies about it like they are right now? Or, can we actually catch a bid and rip through this? So we got a good entry, but let's just keep watching, team. Yeah, AFD, definitely worth, I wouldn't hide your P&L, guys, but yeah, don't get emotionally influenced by it, which is much harder said than done. So very low volume right now in Roku team. Again, these aren't the most A+ trades, but we are scalping at inflection points. So keep it on. Market is at its big inflection point here. Crack at that 5-minute cloud. NQ still going. I mean, Roku's got all the wind behind its back right now. Here we go. Ooh, that volume looks ugly. Sorry, guys. Hate to do that while we're in the trade. Trying to fix this volume. There we go. All right, team. Now we're above 320 here a little bit. Let's get one little pop through here to look to lock this scalp up. We're holding that cloud. We're grinding. Roku's testing our patience. There we go. We're at that 50-cent mark, guys. Can we get some bids here real quick? Can't even see the candle. Hey, there it is. All right, this is a slow grinder here, team. You can consider locking it in. I'm going to give it a little more time, but yeah, just keep it tight. I'd like to get a little pop through here, but we've struggled all day at this level. Here. We don't want to be blind to that. So one more pop. I'd like to lock this one up, team, while we're still green. If we can get it, it's just low volume. We don't want to be stuck in these. Roku, don't give up these bids. We need that 320 bids. Here we go. Nice. All right, guys, selling into momentum here. Locking up out at 3-3 for a little scalp. Not fully trusting it, just want to get our piece here. Man, it's such a fight here, team, and just want to get my piece. Don't really like to hold scalps that long, but it's still technically valid. So again, guys, you don't have to lock when I lock, but I'm all out of Roku here. Nice. Looks like you guys are getting similar fills. Puma, oh my God, Snow. I know we watched that for our first 2 sessions together, and then what a day I had yesterday. Absolutely unreal. Roku's still rocking, team. Just these premiums aren't really moving. So just again, be careful. I'm out of the trade. We're also at key inflection points where we could dip. So I've got to provide a little context on these, remember our conversation, last week, the secondary trades. But regardless, decent little scalp here, team. I hope you guys are liking these tape lessons. We're getting a lot of great tape reading lessons today. If you want me to go over anything again, let me know. But that's truly the essence of watching breakouts, is just seeing who's on this tape. Right? It took forever to get 320 bids. We finally got them. Then we trying to get through here, et cetera, et cetera. Adam, appreciate you. Yeah, Milo, absolutely. Give me a minute, my friend. I want to see this Roku trade. I'm out of it, but I want to see how it unfolds here. Just to kind of show you guys why I got out, because the most important thing, guys, I'm going to go all Dr. Phil in you for a moment. It's like a relationship. You want to be a really good listener, right? I'm sure we've all been in relationships, and if you're a good listener, they happen to work a bit better. Same thing happens, guys, when you're trading, is, forget your emotions and really just listen to what the stock is doing. And when I say listen, I don't mean put your ear up to the screen. I mean, pay attention, guys, to the candle. Pay attention to the volume. Pay attention to that key level. We've been stuffed here all day. So yes, we can scalp to it. But when we get there, guys, it's time to listen to Roku. It's time to watch the tape. It's time to see, are these bidders even strong? No, not at all. So we can give it time like we did. But I listened and she said, hey, Chan, this is looking really iffy. So got our piece there, team. And again, the listening part is really about low volume, key levels, and reading the tape. Chris, yeah, at this point, man, it's becoming not even worth it. You're absolutely right. Relative volume, very small. And boom, there it is, team. So we tried a little trade. Hopefully everyone's out alive. And good lessons regardless. Right? Good lessons, team, of wait for an entry. Wait for inflection points. We got that. And then again, just listen to your partner for the moment, which is Roku. And yeah, Ron, tape truly is key, guys. I hope I've helped unveil that. I know, you got the training before, but I really was looking forward to having tape all come together while we trade live. And another big thing to remember is you want to always watch the market. So when the market pops here, guys, right, that's where we're like, all right, Roku should pop. But then the market reached a very big key level. And that's another reason why, okay, Roku might slow down. So, between the big picture and then what Roku is telling you are kind of how you want to make your decisions. So again, guys, a little trade here. If you have any questions, let me know, but not bad. Milo, so in the options room, you sometimes mention home runs, the trade that can change your life. Absolutely. Can you talk more about that this afternoon? Like, what kind of day can this happen on in our particular setups, etc.? Absolutely, Milo. So, generally, guys, those will happen on days where, we're not chopping in place. So if we didn't gap down in ATR, I was actually really looking forward to shorting this market down to these levels. And that's where we could have gotten a home run. We've traded SPX today. Well, you guys have, 3 to 5, 2 to 5, still good numbers. But if we actually got to play this whole downside, we're talking like a 2 to 20, Milo. And those are the things that can change your life. So your life can change on every day. It just depends, how's the market? So if the market's running hard or dropping hard, that's often where we'll have, the biggest opportunities, where why you guys are here is to learn how to scalp, where even when we go like this, SPX, SPX, Roku, you get those little pieces in between, Milo. So the real answer is it's all about the setup. For me, my biggest trades have just been on, really big picture squeezes, releasing with, a supportive market. So really, anything other than just a range-bound chop will do it. Yeah, Milo. Where on the chop days, we kind of, have the skill set where we carve out our piece, right? You can still kind of thrive and survive in here. right? And don't minimize, guys, that SPX play. That's a double. That's 100% return. So don't swing for home runs, but home runs will come. That's something that should motivate us. But remember, forget home runs. Do your job, right? Just like a good baseball player. They get up to bat. They're not trying to hit a home run. But if they swing how they should, how they learned, how they've practiced, and they make contact, they'll probably hit a home run. Kind of the same mentality there, team. Hope that makes sense. So don't ever swing for it. Just do your job. Take great trades, manage risk, and we'll see what happens. Because some days, guys, you get your entry. So say you got this entry here on SPX. It does not stop bleeding, right? It never goes back above the 8. It never goes back above the 21. And you just keep grinding it until you have a true reason to sell it. And that's why sometimes a scalp can turn into a home run. But again, guys, the key is to just do your job, take great trades, and manage your risk. You'll have, small winners, big winners, medium-sized winners, and hopefully all small losers. Yep, Vinny, you get it, my friend. Line drives turn to home runs. Just swing good, swing hard, stay grounded, let it fly. Because honestly, team, my biggest home run trades, wasn't quote unquote the plan. It was more so just following my rules, rather. All right, team, we're winding down here, and I see a few questions. So let me look at these. Jeff, this is a great question, and it looks like Adam kind of asked the same thing. If you want to focus on SPX with no tape, would you use tick in a similar way as you use tape on stocks? Sort of, kind of, my friend. I don't want to say yes because it's not tape. But for the overall market, internals are, yes, your best friend. Where one thing you can do, guys, is you can go read SPY tape while trading SPX if you want to, get a sense of, all right, our bid stepping up, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to move the same. So if you do want a tape, I just recommend checking out SPY. Now, obviously, the levels are going to be different. So keep that in mind. But then, yeah, the internals are really going to be your best friend. So if we look here, guys, of what I mean by that is, on this break here of cloud. So let's just, I'm going to throw on synchronized crosshairs so you guys can see everything at the same time. So if we look here, guys, right, we break that cloud and then we come down. We see here, instead of entering our bloody zone, we hold nicely. We pop to our big key zone. And now again, on this little pullback here, tick held 0 and then popped again back to that key zone. While at the same time, guys, since here, ADD has just been going straight up. So these are, again, the internals where it's like you're looking at your car's engine. You're looking at, what makes this thing move. And that's these. And I'll spend, a lot of time, guys, in the second half doing a detailed breakdown of what these things mean. But I hope that makes sense. So again, you can read tape, but it's almost like, all right, we broke the cloud right here. So look at ADD, guys, right? That was breaking high of day. When we, pull back to that cloud, ADD is still holding, right? Tick doesn't go negative, and then we continue our journey higher. We pull back to our key levels here. Not only do we hit that key level, we hit our key moving average. At the same time right there, guys, ADD is steady, tick hits 0, and pops back. So just like downside, we bleed, we go to 0, and we bleed again. On the upside, guys, every pullback, tick should hold at 0. So again, look at my crosshairs right now on SPX. We're right at that key level. And then boom. So I hope that makes sense, team. I know we haven't spent too much time breaking down internals a lot, but those are the little things that you can use to be like, all right, this looks better for SPX. And great lock on a Roku, team. No need to sit through that. That's how you avoid crap like that. Dark Pool, how often do you update your focus list? Not much, to be completely honest. I'd say this year I've probably added like 3 names to it. Roblox. Yeah, I can't even think of any others. So not often, to be honest. I have my basket, and they can come and go, but I stick with my OGs, to be honest. It takes a lot for someone to get on my my focus list. Artful. So ES popped up a VWAP, then pulled back to where it converged with the moving averages. Would this be a good place to take a shot at a pop, which it is doing? So let's see, Artful. Yes, 100%, my friend. So remember, guys, when we run to a key level, you're going to get a pullback. And so you want to see where that pullback is. So if you look here, when we retested VWAP, that's when SPX retested right here. Retested that key level and retested that 21 EMA. And then as I just showed you guys, we have the internals that line up together for a really good dip buy, right? A really good tight risk reward. You risk right back below and you catch that nice little pop. So Artful, I hope that helps, man. But yeah, absolutely. Again, most key levels, guys, are going to get retested. So we break through VWAP, we hit a key zone. We pull back to VWAP, and then we break the key zone. Hope that helps. Carol, so far it's the other way around. Big losses in the past and small wins. Learning a lot here. Keep your head up, Carol. I give everyone credit that, continues to pursue this game. It's definitely not the easiest game, but you guys are doing the right steps. You're investing in yourself, finding a system that works, trusting in myself and Simpler. Stay resilient, and I promise it'll all turn around. And yeah, Adam, you were on the right track. And Artful, VWAP is the same on 1 minute and 5 minute. So, this would be in the exact same trade. So again, just kind of finding that confluence of where and when things happened. Algo, no, I actually don't throw the Ichimoku on ADD. I have in the past, and it's actually a bit revealing. So you guys can't mess around with that. But I don't make it a staple. All right, a few more questions here, guys, and then we'll wrap up. We'll take a quick glance at the market. I'll leave you with a few thoughts while I'm gone. Tom, I definitely feel like I could just focus on scalping SPX while learning and still having plenty of opportunities. Yep, Tom, 100%, my man. SPX really is just a great way to see the system unfold. So again, basic key levels, you guys learned that. But then the indicators, we break the cloud. Nice. Watch a pullback to the cloud. Great. At the same time, guys, we held that trend line on ES that we broke through. All these little confluence, my friends. So yeah, I recommend guys focus at first. If you're trying to master and learn the system, don't stare at 10 things. Find 1 or 2 good stocks and play, and then just watch how the system unfolds. Watch what it does at clouds, et cetera, et cetera. And I really recommend SPX because, as I've said over and over, you get to play it 3 times a week with the same day expiration. And that's just a gift from the market gods that I think we should capitalize on. Paul, NVIDIA's getting towards the bottom of the zone. I'll take a peek at that one. Sonar, the SPX 4030 puts done for today. They're getting close to it. As they start to go under $1, yes, I'm kind of losing interest. And again, the higher the stock goes, 430, guys, is so far away. So, as the market starts to go higher, yes, we do want to adjust our strikes. So just to give you a quick example here, for SPX, a downside good strike right now, team, would be 40.60 to 40.50, right? Gets you back towards our key levels, and it's in that $1 to $2 price range. So you can see, guys, the further we go, these things just get worthless, and as time goes by, we don't want to play worthless options. So that's my time here, guys, but I'm gonna run over a minute just to give a little preface here what to focus on while I'm gone. So Obviously, team, we're right at this 5-minute cloud in our key zone. If we can just continue to hold up and get through there, we'll see if we start to rally. One big thing to pay attention to is the 1-minute cloud. Just like every other name we've watched, do we get that little drop towards it? And is it a nice pop, or is it potentially a pivot that's headed right back down to low a day? Another big compass I'd focus on here, team, is NQ. We got this nice little, just give us an alert. We got this nice trend line that's played all day. So if you guys see, we're probably going to have to deal with it soon. So if NQ starts to give this up, market breaks the cloud, could be another good short, team. Other than that, Roku's in the middle of nowhere. You can watch this 324-ish if it breaks. Tesla also in the middle of nowhere. And let me take one quick peek at NVIDIA, and I'll let you guys go. NVIDIA's not bad, guys. They could hold the cloud here and then start to ramp back towards 563. So that's kind of my thoughts, team. But remember, we are we're nearing lunchtime. We're nearing pre-FOMC. Just be patient here, the next hour or two. But I'll be back, guys. And Mufasa, that meant sorry, guys, I tried to do alerts very fast. I guess I should have prefaced that. Lock means exit. So I'm locking it up here. But all right, thank you, team. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope we all got a little bit better. Go enjoy your break, get some fresh air, and we'll conquer the rest of the session together. But thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Trade safe.